Charles Marino joins us. He's former DHS senior advisor. Charles, how does ISIS radicalize people inside the United States?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and it's unique to every individual that ends up becoming susceptible to being radicalized. This investigation is far from being over based on the latest information from the FBI, especially with this international travel dynamic to Egypt and Canada. Because now, where and how did this radicalization of this individual take place? Was it online? Was it through this travel? Was it direct instructions to target Bourbon Street and how to do it? Or did it take place within the United States via other associates that have sworn allegiance to terrorist organizations? This is a question that we now have to ask that we didn't have to ask over 4 years ago because of our wide open borders and the numbers coming from special interest locations where we know for a fact terrorist organizations are operational.
Charles, does being in the military make it easier for outsiders to radicalize those people?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I think it should become harder, and I think the Department of Defense here is really going to have to look at how they're conducting updated backgrounds and reporting of such behaviors for both current enlisted personnel, like the individual you had in Las Vegas, and then somebody who has separated from the military, like the suspect Jabbar in New Orleans. But I think the Department of Defense, every agency should be worried about this because radicalization has become increased within our own borders. And if we don't believe it, when you have people marching up and down Fifth Avenue swearing allegiance to terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and Hamas, that by its very nature is a form of radicalization that we're allowing to occur right here in the United States. So Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, President Biden, they've had blinders on to this, and they haven't kept what I like to call the main thing, the main thing.
Charles Marino, thanks very much for joining us this morning. Always appreciate it. Thank you, sir.